Folks, we are 1 week away from the 2025 NHL Entry Draft. And while it's true that, unfortunately, this YouTube channel has not been the hottest hub for draft-related coverage, that doesn't mean that we are completely shut out from talking about this stuff. Which is why, today, I wanted to focus on the Montreal Canadiens and dive into a trade offer that would absolutely change the franchise. Now, here's the thing about Montreal. The past 3 years, the Habs have had very high picks in the NHL Draft. 2022, Yuri Slafkovsky, 1st overall. 2023, David Reinbacher, 5th overall. 2024, Ivan Demidov, 5th overall. The Habs' string of high draft picks has ended with this year's draft, as the Habs are set to drafting 16th and 17th overall in the first round. Now, sure, there have been guys the Habs have drafted in this range in the past that turned out to be very good. 6 years ago, the Habs took Cole Caulfield 15th overall. Look at how that changed the franchise. One pick after Caulfield in the 2019 draft, 16th overall, the Colorado Avalanche took Alex Newhook, who is now a Montreal Canadien, and I get it, that doesn't really hammer the same point down since the Habs didn't draft him. But in this video commentary, what I wanted to do was highlight a trade offer that the Montreal Canadiens could potentially toss out there to give themselves another top pick. Our source today is an article on lepresse.ca. Read this chat with Matthias Brunet again. Replay the Q&A session with Matthias Brunet on the Stanley Cup Finals, the Canadiens, and NHL news. Quite self-explanatory, it just recaps a conversation that Matthias Brunet had. It's a Q&A, there are fans getting their questions in, and Montreal Canadiens analyst Simon Boisvert is also in the mix, providing his insight and commentary on some of these things as well. The article is from a few days ago, the article's all in French, but the thing is, the Google Chrome machine doesn't translate it properly, so instead, we're going over onto HabsFanatics.com because Elias Ediem's article went out there and transcribed what it was that was written about here. Analyst floats a massive 5-piece trade that would see the Canadiens land the 2nd overall pick. This is what Simon Boisvert went out there and spoke about. He would accept a trade involving Michael Hage, Logan Mailloux, and the Habs' 2 first-round picks for Michael Misa. This would be for the 2nd overall pick held by the San Jose Sharks. We recommend reading the full article, but this is the takeaway that Boisvert has. Hage, Mailloux, 16 and 17 for Misa. Would you do it? He says here that Misa would be the best player of these 4 guys. 4? There are 3 names being talked about here. Hage, Mailloux, Misa. I guess you could say 16th and 17th will be drafted players, but yeah, it makes sense to imply that the 2nd overall guy will be better than the 16th and 17th overall guys. But this is our trade idea that we can dive into here. Would you take the 2nd overall pick, preferably to draft a guy like Michael Misa, in exchange for Logan Mailloux, Michael Hage, 16 and 17? It's a big price to pay, but Misa is a, do I want to use that label? I was gonna say franchise-altering talent. I don't know, man. He's really damn good. I think we're getting past the point where these labels are even necessary for players, but ultimately, Michael Misa is the consolidated ranked 2nd overall prospect in the upcoming draft. A decent-sized center, 6'1", 183. He can play left wing. And this season, Michael Misa, in his draft-eligible season, scored a measly 134 points in 65 games. Yeah, that's like out of this world, mind-bogglingly ridiculous. He had 3 points in 4 games for the Saginaw Spirit in the playoffs, and also was a -10. So his playoff production definitely did not live up to the same standard. The Erie Otters totally toasted the Saginaw Spirit with multiple blowout victories, so Michael Misa didn't really get too much support in the postseason, but hey, puck don't lie. The guy had 62 goals in 65 games in the regular season, and more assists than that. This is a player whose overall skill set, his two-way ability, his hockey sense, they are all so elite. And in fact, the Elite Prospects Draft Guide here says that Michael Misa has shades of Macklin Celebrini in his game. Not only is he super skilled and he can produce a hell of a ton of points, but his motor, his drive, his awareness of the game, he's got a really good two-way element to his profile here, and it makes him a potential number one center down the line. In fact, a really good candidate to be a number one center. The question is, though, the San Jose Sharks already have Macklin Celebrini in their system. Do they really need to get Michael Misa? I don't know. You could have two of them. That would be fantastic, right? You wouldn't want to say no to two Sidney Crosbys or to two Connor McDavids or to two, let's keep it San Jose themed, Joe Thorntons or two Erik Karlssons. But if you wanted to stretch it and say, nah, you don't need another guy like that, then maybe this trade makes sense for San Jose. 16th and 17th gives them ample opportunity to draft more valuable talent in the middle of the first round. Michael Hage would be a center replacement for Michael Misa in the system, and Hage, as we had spoken about last week, fantastic young prospect for the Montreal Canadiens. So this is a guy that I think can definitely provide ample value as a potential top 6 forward long term. And then Logan Mailloux, another piece sent over that San Jose could benefit from if they are looking for a not guaranteed replacement, but a potential replacement for the role that Brent Burns and Erik Karlsson had provided in the past. Logan Mailloux and his offensive skill set could be just that. With Sam Dickinson, with Mukka Madulin, there could be a very nice D-core built in San Jose over the next few years. Logan Mailloux would just add on to that. But for the Montreal Canadiens, this is where we talk about swinging for the fences. You talk about guys that the Canadiens could stand to lose. The 16th and 17th overall picks, yes, those are valuable assets, but the Habs don't necessarily need to get whomever it is will be drafted there and develop them. They're already in a spot where they made the playoffs this previous year. And whoever is taken, 16th, 17th overall, they're probably not going to be NHL players till 2028 at the minimum? 2027, really? So, for the Habs, they're trying to build for the playoffs and open this window of opportunity now, in 2026, in 2027. So, and because they already have enough prospects that have been developed in their system so far, you could say that they don't necessarily need a 16th and 17th overall caliber guy. Trading away that and Michael Hage and Logan Mailloux, it doesn't sound that bad when you consider the return. If you get a second overall pick and you get the chance to draft the next Macklin Celebrini, except he didn't play in college, he played in the OHL, and his name happens to be Michael Misa, a guy who was projected to be the first overall pick in this draft class for years up until Matthew Schaefer started to dominate. You have a really interesting opportunity here. And it's why Simon Boisvert goes out there and says that he would do it. The question is, though, would San Jose accept this move? I think the only real way they trade down from second is if they just subscribe to that idea that, hey, we don't really need Michael Misa. We don't need to get another top-tier center because Macklin's right there. I kind of disagree with the notion that you can't have enough good centers, but the argument does exist, which is why we are making this YouTube video here. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Montreal Canadiens and whether or not you would make this trade. Would you send away Logan Mailloux, Michael Hage, 16 and 17 for number 2? And draft a guy like Michael Misa, second overall in the draft. Let me know in the comments all your opinions. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.